It's 1:15 AM on a Monday morning and I can't sleep for the life of me, so here I am to divulge more of the inner workings of the labyrinth that is my mind. This is, as you can see, a follow-up to the last Inside My Head video about the live-action Dragon Ball movie. I, like many of you, have been keeping track of the film, reading up on as much info as I can find, and having recently seen the quote trailer unquote for the film, I'll admit that I'm slowly starting to warm up to the idea of this. Unfortunately, as with pretty much every live-action adaptation of anything, there's always something to bitch and moan about. In the case of this film, there are several things, but what grinds my nerves most about it all is that the complaints are mostly over the most minuscule of changes, which I guess goes to show that there are some pretty rabid fans out there. I'm all for being passionate about something, but having discussed the film across several forums, I've learned that the extent to which some of the fans take this passion can be pretty damn disturbing. To kick things off, I'm going to address what I personally think is the downright stupidest complaint. The fact that Goku is played by an American actor instead of an Asian one. I find this complaint particularly laughable, namely because of the fact that the original anime was created and aimed at a Japanese audience. However, this is an American adaptation, and I personally have no problem with the fact that the main character is portrayed by a Caucasian actor. If I had to use an analogy, I'd have to go with the most obvious one of Superman. He's an alien from a distant galaxy whose home planet was destroyed, and yet he looks just like your average Joe off the streets. The second issue I wish to discuss would be the film's portrayal of Piccolo. As we all know by now, the film's general plot is based off the story arc that introduced King Piccolo, or Piccolo Daimao, in the original anime. When promotional photos from the movie were leaked onto the internet some time back, fans were left to wonder what Piccolo would look like, and now, thanks to the leaked quote-unquote trailer, we know. The complaints over Piccolo's appearance, while initially justified, should now hopefully be put to rest, as James Masters himself confirmed that Piccolo will indeed be green in the film, and that the flesh tone is just a temporary matter. Why is he so pale in the first place, you ask? Well, let's think about that for a moment, shall we? Imagine suddenly finding yourself trapped inside a relatively small object, in the anime's case, a rice cooker, with no sunlight for thousands of years. If you finally manage to escape from that predicament, then you could obviously come out looking more than a little on the pale side. And besides, having Piccolo emerge from his dreary and dark imprisonment a bright and vibrant green would just look fucking stupid! For all you Uber fans out there, I'd like to reiterate that the flesh-toned skin is temporary, so hopefully all of the needless complaints can now be put to rest. The final complaint I'd like to cover is the absence of Krillin from the film's main cast. Oh yes, he was Goku's best friend, but honestly, I can deal with the fact that he's not a big part of this film, considering that he didn't have a very large role in the original anime. In fact, he didn't really have any big moments until Dragon Ball Z rolled around, such as going to Planet Namek with Gohan to fetch the Namekian Dragon Balls, and later inadvertently helping Goku transform into a Super Saiyan for the very first time. And to top it all off, he married and subsequently fathered a child to an android, but most of the time he was just cannon fodder for the bad guys. I think it would make more sense for Krillin to make a cameo appearance in this film and get a full introduction in any future sequels. In closing, I can understand that a lot of you out there would naturally have negative feelings towards this, but to all the people who are incessantly crying like unfed babies because they want it to be more like the anime, I'm going to say the exact same thing that I said when the live-action Transformers movie was being made. A direct adaptation of the anime would not work, and regardless of how much all of you Uber fans wish it weren't coming to pass, the simple fact of the matter is that this film is being made. You don't have to like it, of course, but no amount of ranting and raving is going to make it magically disappear. The changes are obviously being made for a reason, and if you're so dead set on seeing the anime, then I suggest you go watch the anime because that's what it's there for.